You're watching New Vision TV, and this is The Handshake. I'm Lynn Komjisha. With me is Edna Ruth Mubiru. Edna, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Lynn.
So the World Bank has added 1.3 trillion shillings for infrastructure. Now, they are specifically giving this money to municipal infrastructure development. And I think this is going to look into the new municipalities as well. But Edna, my worry is the World Bank has been warning Uganda against borrowing. How can they be leading us into more debt?
Well, if we had a choice, we would not be borrowing. But we don't really have that much of a choice, and yet we need to develop this infrastructure.
Sure.
Yes. They've been a partner for a while.
Yes.
They've done some of the districts, as recently in Hoima. Good work done. It's nicely organized, and it was from the World Bank funding. Yes, part of the KCCA work is also from the World Bank funding. So if we had a choice, if we had our own money, we wouldn't have to deal with anybody else. We wouldn't have to borrow, but we don't have the money. In terms
of debt?
In terms of debt, there's that figure that the Ministry of Finance always tells us. I can't quite put a finger on the figure itself, but it's a fraction of our GDP, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, so when they say that we are still within a safe threshold for borrowing, like we haven't crossed that threshold where you should say we shouldn't be doing this. So the challenge is that it's increasing. Over the years, this debt has been increasing. And when you look at the National Development Plan, actually they projected that our debt would be at this level now. The only problem is that it hasn't done what it was supposed to do. So the debt is at the levels it was expected to be, but the projects that were expected to be finished now are not finished.
Why is the problem?
Well, there are challenges. The standard gauge railway was one of those projects, but you know it's dependent on finishing the Kenya leg and them securing financing for it to get to Malaba. Then we can also start our own. Then the other projects that were supposed to be done, the oil refinery and the pipeline were also part of the planned projects, and the debt was expected to have taken care of some of these things. Yeah, so the debt is at the level that it was expected to be, but the projects it was meant to finance haven't taken.
Okay, at least tell me it has financed about 20% of the projects.
Well, we've made some headway in terms of the roads and connecting the countryside to the rest of, connecting the countryside to the center. Yeah, so that has been done, but I mean, by now we expected that the standard gauge railway would be here, but it isn't.
We might need to wait a little longer.
Oh yes, because we are depending on our neighbors.
So where is that money? We got the money, the loans.
Some of the money has been deployed to do other things. Some of the money, if a project is slowed down, is held, and then we pay interest on it, but it's not doing what it's supposed to be. So there are a number of agencies that should really be talking about this and seeing how do we get out of this trouble.
It's interesting when you say that we got all this money, we got all these loans, and that is what was expected. But then I'm still going to ask you, where is that money? It may have gone to other projects. Is it seated somewhere on some account?
On some accounts.
You know, and I think this is where the challenge is.
There is something for me to check. Like, where is this money?
Absolutely.
There's something for me to do to follow this money and see what's happening.
Yeah, I like that you're taking up the challenge.
Yes.
Thank you, Edna.
Thank you, Lynn.